Hey everybody, so you probably heard by now the big news last night. The biggest free agent left on the market in the NHL, Mike Hoffman, has signed a PTO with the St. Louis Blues. Wait, what? A PTO? Let me explain because there's a lot to unpack here and a lot going on with regards to the salary cap. But essentially, Mike Hoffman is going to be a St. Louis Blue. It just can't officially happen yet. So before we get into this, I just ask that you please subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. Both of those things help out so much and are greatly appreciated. But let's get into it here. Hoffman to the St. Louis Blues right now on a professional tryout. That's obviously not going to be the case long term. It's because of the salary cap that he had to sign a PTO because the Blues cannot officially sign him. Well, they could, but to maximize their salary cap position, they're not going to officially sign him until Alex Steen's contract and Vladimir Tarasenko are placed on LTIR. That's not going to happen until the beginning of the regular season. So for him to go to training camp, he has to sign this PTO, go to camp on a PTO, and there's already a deal in place between him and the Blues. Just right now, it's a handshake deal, and it will become official once they can put those guys on LTIR. Let's take a look at why the Blues had to do this, starting with cap friendly here. So here's St. Louis on cap friendly. As you can see, their cap hit right now is over the $81.5 million. They're over by about $1 million right now. And if we scroll down here, they still have to re-sign Vince Dunn, who's a very important young defenseman for them. The big two contracts to look at are right here. Vladimir Tarasenko at $7.5 million and Alexander Steen at $5.75 million. Steen is done. He is essentially retired from the NHL, but he's not going to officially retire paperwork-wise because then he would miss out on this last $5.75 million in his contract. He obviously wants to get paid, even though he can't play. He still can get paid that money. It just won't count against the salary cap once he's put on LTIR. All right, that's not how LTIR works exactly. That's how it works in essence. But officially, they're allowed to exceed the salary cap by his $5.75 million once he's put on LTIR. It basically wipes it from the books from a cap standpoint, even though that's not officially how it works. But that's a different video. But Steen going to LTIR is going to open up $5.75 million that they can use to sign not only Mike Hoffman, but also Vince Dunn as well. Although I think the Dunn deal will get done earlier than that. Hoffman is probably going to have to wait. So if we go to Andy Strickland here on Twitter, who is the Blues rinkside reporter, he had a good tweet here. The St. Louis Blues and Hoffman have an understanding of what a one-year contract will look like. So they have a deal kind of agreed to. It's a handshake deal right now, but it's agreed to. Once Steen and Tarasenko are placed on LTIR and Vince Dunn is signed, they'll be able to officially sign Mike Hoffman. Hoffman is taking less money to sign in St. Louis because St. Louis obviously is a good team. And if you want a really good, quick write-up about this whole situation, Elliot Friedman of Sportsnet did one here. It's called Why Mike Hoffman is Joining the Blues on a Non-Guaranteed Tryout Contract. Obviously, there were a lot of questions, especially on Twitter, when this was first announced. People on Twitter were flipping out. Like, a PTO? Why? What is going on here? He got a PTO because there's already kind of a deal in place. They just have to wait to do it. Alex Steen will not play this season and is not going to play again at the NHL level. Tarasenko is also headed to LTIR after another shoulder surgery. He is expected to come back during the season, but the Blues can deal with that later. He's at least out to start the year. So that is $13.25 million in combined cap space opened up for them to sign Dunn and sign Hoffman. So Hoffman gets what he wants, a big role on a good team. St. Louis gets what they want, a scorer to ease the absence of Tarasenko. They just can't officially sign him yet until these two guys are actually placed on LTIR, in Tarasenko and Steen. So that is why Mike Hoffman signed a PTO and not a guaranteed contract as of right now with the St. Louis Blues. Because the guaranteed contract deal is in place, they just have to wait to do it for salary cap reasons. And as it's been pointed out by multiple insiders online, putting someone on LTIR in the offseason does not benefit you as much as putting someone on LTIR in the regular season. So they're going to wait until the beginning of the season to put Steen and Tarasenko on LTIR, and then they can officially sign Hoffman. Until then, Hoffman needs to attend training camp. Obviously, you don't want him not to get any reps in training camp. So he needed to sign that PTO so he could attend camp before he was officially signed. So that is what's going on with Mike Hoffman and the St. Louis Blues. He's going to be a St. Louis Blue. There's going to be a guaranteed contract. He did not sign a PTO in the same sense as like a Craig Anderson or a Kevin Connaughton signed a PTO, where those are veteran fringe NHLers who have to compete for a job. Mike Hoffman's not really competing for a job. He's just signing that PTO to hold him so he can attend training camp and hold his roster spot until he can officially sign a deal once those guys are put on LTIR. So that's the scoop with Hoffman and the Blues. He's going to be a St. Louis Blue, and that certainly adds to the offense there in St. Louis and makes them a more dangerous team up front. We'll see how he fits in as we get into the season, but that is the news on Mike Hoffman. That is why it's a PTO contract for right now. All salary cap reasons, not that he isn't going to actually sign with the Blues. It's just a salary cap placeholder until they can get Steen to LTIR. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, links to our Patreon, merchandise store, and donation link are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.